Well, we've been talking a lot about Brock Purdy to the point where I think that it's a good time to pivot to 49ers QB2. That's Mac Jones. To be honest, it's strange to be in a 49ers offseason where there's so much focus solely on one quarterback. But Purdy's had the contract situation, which obviously has been resolved, and he is obviously the undisputed starter. We are beyond the point of quarterback controversies in San Francisco, real or manufactured. So no, there is no stat tracking, there's no stat fabrication from quarterback performance at practice. But I think that there might be a little bit of concern regarding Mac Jones, since QB2 is an important spot. And by his own acknowledgement, he did not have a good practice the last time that the media was out there to close OTAs.
Today was a little bit shaky for me, but that's how practice goes. My goal has been, like I said, every attempt should be committed to the throw. Mick's talked to me about that, where if it's supposed to go to that guy, go in there and rip it and live with the result. And that's all you can do. And this playbook is based on footwork and timing, like I talked about. So just continue to grow in that aspect. And obviously you're kind of drinking from a water hose a little bit, but I've also played in a lot of different offenses, and this has been a great experience for me so far. And I'm looking forward to finishing strong and then really getting into those 30 days that we have between the season and kind of go back and, all right, this is what I did well, this is what I didn't do well. You know, how can I get more reps on air with my footwork and my timing, and then be ready to go for the preseason.
So Mac acknowledged that he wasn't at his best, but this is something to be expected. Remember when Sam Darnold first joined the system, there were questions about whether it'd be him or Trey Lance. Those were the two guys going at it during OTAs, and of course that moved over into training camp where Brock Purdy returned. Brock Purdy was the unquestioned one throughout the process, but there was a battle between 2 and 3, between Sam Darnold and Trey Lance, and Sam had to learn the 49ers system. It took him a little bit to distance himself from Trey Lance, but by the time the training camp rolled around, it was very clear that he was going to be the 2, and Trey would be the 3, and by extension, he would be traded. The truth is that the 49ers have a very specific way of operating at the quarterback position, which makes it difficult for new players there to acclimate. So when you look at OTAs, they are the training grounds. Mac Jones talked about it. He said that the footwork is different, a lot of the technique is different, obviously the verbiage and the terminology is different. Sam Darnold had to go through that a couple years ago over the course of OTAs, and Mac Jones is going through it right now. I noticed that Mac was missing high quite a bit the other day at practice. That was the recurring problem for him. And I think when you're not completely settled into where you want to go with the football, when there are a lot of things going through your head, when it's not second nature quite yet, you are wont to miss a little bit high because you're not on top of the throw. You're not set in that kind of way. So for Mac, when he was at his best with New England as a rookie in 2021, he was very decisive with where to go with the football. He was one with the system that year for the Patriots. And he talked a lot about that decisiveness at his press conference after practice the other day. He said that he just has to let it rip, that he has to trust the system. He has to be in a place where he's putting oomph into these throws. Because if you're going to be wishy-washy in the NFL, that's when you're going to lose accuracy. And for Mac, I think that ultimately it just does come down to feeling at home in the system. Kyle Shanahan talked about his enjoyment of the game being something that is going to be very correlated to him having success. And you often see this with quarterbacks like Mac Jones, who have struggled at previous stops in their NFL career. Enjoyment of the system can be hard to come by. Quarterback is a particularly hard position to struggle at. Disparate media attention. I mean, it's disproportionately important to the sport, but when Mac struggled with the Patriots before going over to Jacksonville, it's obviously something that had the ability to take away his enjoyment of the game. And when enjoyment is sapped away, passion is sapped away. And we've heard from all the quarterback greats that the key to success at a high level in the NFL is just complete and total mental investment. How are you supposed to succeed, especially in a new system, if you aren't having fun? So for Kyle Shanahan, that enjoyment was really important to see from Mac Jones. And this is something I know that I've already mentioned a couple times, but I do think that we've had signs that he's having fun with the 49ers. 2 weeks ago at practice, that was much more apparent. Last week wasn't quite as fun, but Mac wholeheartedly owned it at his press conference right after practice, and I think that's a good sign that he's grown comfortable in his own shoes at the 49ers facility. Going to be very important for him over the challenging few months ahead as he gets acclimated to the system, but then we'll be graced with a wonderful opportunity. He said that this 49ers system, if you know what you're doing at the quarterback position, it sets the table for good efficiency. A quarterback obviously has to deliver his part of it, but we know that Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers offense has a track record of delivering its part in helping facilitate QBs toward efficiency. For Sam Darnold, that definitely worked. That was the 49ers QB rehab plan, and now Mac Jones is going to be trying to achieve similar results. Could flip this around. Look where I just showed up. That's the American flag. This is the American Embassy in Prague. Actually, I think the main entrance to the embassy is a little further down where you see all that security. But, oh, this is actually it. We're going to walk right by the American Embassy in Prague. See? United States of America, American flag. There's the Czech lion right above it. And here it is, Embassy of the United States of America in Prague, in the Czech Republic. Time to continue. We don't want to linger for too long with the security up here. We can talk a little bit more about the 49ers quarterback position. We can go to Tanner Mordecai. Tanner Mordecai, he's got an opportunity too, but this is not just going to be given to Tanner Mordecai. Listen, the 49ers want to carry 3 quarterbacks on their 53-man roster. Maybe they will carry 3 for sure, but Tanner Mordecai is not guaranteed of that spot. He's going to have to show that he absolutely deserves it and will have to earn it over the course of this offseason. Tanner's hit a couple deep throws, most notably at the practices that have been open. I think he's generally looked solid. It's going to be all about how quickly he goes to the right spots with the football. It's all about speed in this offense, playing on time. And that's what the 49ers will want to see out of Tanner Mordecai if he's to earn a spot on that 53-man roster. Because the 49ers remain scarred by the experience at Philadelphia, where Brock Purdy got hurt, Josh Johnson suffered the concussion, and then they had to go playing position players at the quarterback position. Obviously, that story did not end well in Philly. That's why they are very, very biased toward taking that third quarterback on the 53. Obviously, Tanner Mordecai is in the driver's seat for that. Curtis Rourke, the rookie whom they drafted, he's probably on track for a redshirt year. But nothing that the 49ers will do when it comes to giving out 53-man roster spots, because they are so valuable, nothing will be backed into. It's something that's proactively going to have to be earned. So that's what training camp is going to be all about. It's Brock Purdy QB1, Mac Jones QB2, and Tanner Mordecai with the inside track, the inside lane to grab QB3.